Welcome back to That's Cricket, and this is your day one recap of the fifth Ashes Test, brought to you by Runmaker. Well, we only got half a day's worth of cricket today. Bad light had everyone leaving the field early. The umpires come out. That's cricket. They come out. They test the light. They say, "You know what, guys? We can't see the ball. Even though we have floodlights, we're going to come off the field." So we left the field early. Only 45 overs of cricket were played today. That's cricket. But England end the day at stumps, 3 for 211. Nice start for England. But yes, let's go back before the toss. Big news, big history-making selections. First time ever, not first time ever, first time since 1888 that Australia has not selected a frontline spinner for the SCG Test. You would think that they would have brought Todd Murphy in. They brought him into the squad just before the MCG Test. We know that we can get spinning wickets at the SCG. Normally at the SCG, it's not a matter of getting one spinner in. Sometimes you try to fit two spinners in at the SCG. Australia decided not to. They decided to go pace, 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 pace. That was their options. They decided to bring in Webster, which we've been dying to see in the team, but we were thinking him come in for a like-for-like replacement, switching with Cam Green. Not to be the case. Job Richardson would be the man left out of the squad, and they would go with Webster, leaving the positions of Carey staying at 6, and then Green, Webster, Neser, Stark, Boland. That's what we had. That's what we have going. They didn't work. It worked, but it didn't work. It worked, didn't work. You'll be the judge. You let me know if it worked or didn't work. No spinner. No spinner. England win the toss, decide to bat first on a pitch that looks ugly. It looks ugly visually, but looks good for batting. 5 mil of grass, blue skies, nice sunny conditions. Looks good to bat on. The first wicket would fall. A little bit of runs were scored. A little bit of bats were flowing, balls were flowing. Ben Duckett looked very good. He hit 5 fours on his road to 27 of 24, striking at 112. It seemed at the point where he was batting, it just seemed like England were clicking when him and Zach Crawley were in. Looked very, very good. He was finding the boundary. The strokes were beautiful. But again, he would get out to Mitchell Stark. Technique of Duckett is kind of coming under scrutiny. He's kind of pendulating his bat. His bat kind of swings in front of his body, squaring up his hips. He got caught off. This is absolute seed. It was a beautiful ball, angled towards the stumps, nicked away, hit the edge. Beautiful take by Carey. He would have to go for 27 off 24. And you think it's not the end of the world. It's a good start, but you're hoping that he gets a few more runs. Crawley would be the next to go. He scored 16 off 29. He would get LBW'd to Neser. It would be given out on the field, and Crawley would review. It would go to umpire's call on hitting the wicket. So it stands. He would have to leave for 16 runs. Jacob Bethel comes to the crease. He had a 10 off 23 balls with 2 fours. Those 2 fours looked very good. Looked very good. But he would have to go. And at this point now, this nice wicket with 5 mil of grass and everything was kind of moving, looking really good for the first few overs, turned into 3 for a 57, and it was thinking, oh, here we go. We're going to get another complete collapse from England. They're going to get bowled out for 200, 250. It's going to be all over again. We're going to have another 2-day test. We were looking at that coming in to the 12th, 13th over. But in comes Joe Root, in comes Harry Brook, and they are the run makers for today. This episode and this segment is brought to you by Runmaker. Runmaker VR is your very own indoor net facility from the comfort of your own home. With Runmaker, you can train wherever you want with live pace, refining your technique with real-time feedback, and taking on sessions inspired by legends of the game out there in the middle. This Ashes, don't just be a spectator, own the moment. You can also record your sessions and send them to your coach so you can improve your game this season. Your journey to the pitch starts with Runmaker VR. Download Runmaker VR and save this Ashes with code RunmakerSub DEC-E6EFEA to get 50% off your first 6-month subscription when you sign up before January 31st. Joe Root and Harry Brook have an unbeaten 154-run stand. Currently, they both passed 50 almost simultaneously within the few balls together. They were at naught together. They got 50 together, and now they're both in the 70s together. Joe Root, 72 off 103 balls. Harry Brook, 78 off 92 balls. Looking very, very good. Joe Root hasn't played a full shot yet. Harry Brook almost came undone. They went the bomb barrage, the bouncer barrage to him. They started to set the traps. The field spread very quickly. Steve Smith, captaining in as captain, spread the field very quickly, and they had a lot of men out on the boundary for the hook, compulsive hooker. He would happen to put one right in the triangle, the Bermuda Triangle, the hole in the field. The ball would land in between Lavashane, Bo Webster, and Usman Khawaja. It looked pretty funny with seeing three blokes running towards the same ball. Stark couldn't believe it, fell into the gap. Apart from that, with not a foul shot, looking very good. There was one where he came down the track to Stark, but that's Harry Brook. That's what he does. He hit a monster six behind square. Beautiful looking six. But 154-run stand, looking very good here for England. Is Australia going to regret not putting a spinner into the squad? Stark 1 wicket, Neeser 1 wicket, Boland 1 wicket. Each of them going for around 4 runs. Cam Green, just before lunch, came in and put on a spell. They targeted him. He has an economy of 7.12. No wickets for 57 runs off his 8 overs. He's the guy, apparently. Apparently, he's the guy. They still want him to be the guy. They want him to be the bowler that changes after the 3-strike guys. And then they have Webster come in. Webster, 11 runs off his 2 overs, going at 5.5 and over. They're targeting these guys. They're targeting them. There's no frontline spinner. Play delayed what could have happened today with the light and everything. If the light stayed on, without the light coming in and interrupting play, you would expect Harry Brook and Joe Root to have already gone on and scored their 100. We may have seen some spin from head. You would expect that tomorrow that we see some spin either from Lavashane or head, or Webster can also bowl a little bit of spin. Maybe he tries the off spinners, see if they work. But very bizarre. Could be a detriment for Australia to not have the spinner in the squad. Sunny days, sunny skies. Look tomorrow. A little bit of rain tonight in Sydney, but it looks like it's going to dry up and be another sunny day tomorrow in Sydney. Harry Brook and Root looking to push on. England should get up to 350, even up to 400 runs. They should do that. It would be a disappointment if they don't at this point, setting it up. Maybe the rain saves Australia here. That's what the storyline is. Maybe the rain and the light save Australia. They come out tomorrow, get a couple early polls, and then Australia will be out batting by the end of day 2. Love to know your thoughts on what you think is going to happen, what's going to play out for the rest of this 5th Ashes test. This has been your recap brought to you by Runmaker, and that's cricket.